Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book, A Long Way Gone, a creation by Ishmael Beah. A Long Way Gone, 2007, recounts the author's experience as a young boy in Sierra Leone who becomes entangled in a civil war and is forced into becoming a child soldier. This gripping tale takes you on a treacherous journey, revealing his eventual salvation and healing, supported by the compassion and benevolence of caring individuals. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that Ishmael Beah, a native of Sierra Leone, formerly served as a child soldier but has since become an author and human rights advocate residing in New York. With 7 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book. On StoryPlanet.net. To start, discover the captivating journey of a young boy as he navigates through the turbulent landscape of Sierra Leone's civil war, allowing you to gain a personal and heartfelt perspective on the experience. These blinks tell the personal story of a young boy who became a soldier during Sierra Leone's civil war. Separated from his family, he was recruited, drugged, and forced to commit atrocities. The book explores his experiences of loss, redemption, and the horrors of war. Key idea number 1. The sudden outbreak of the civil war in Sierra Leone brought unexpected turmoil and upheaval to the lives of its people. Though Africa is often synonymous with civil strife and war in the Western world, this is a generalization. African nations desire peace just like any other country. Sierra Leone, for example, experienced years of peace before civil war erupted. The author remembers a childhood filled with happy memories, such as watching his mother cook and dancing to hip-hop with friends. War seemed distant, only appearing in movies, books, or occasional news reports. However, the surprise arrival of war shattered this peace. While attending a talent show in a neighboring town, the author received news that his hometown had been attacked. He and his brother set out to find their family, but were quickly deterred by the sight of people fleeing, some injured, carrying only their essential belongings. Realizing their family must have fled as well, they returned to safety, haunted by the horror of suddenly losing their parents. This experience highlights the devastating impact of war on the most vulnerable population, children. Key idea number 2. The Civil War inflicted immense suffering on children, leaving them to face the harsh realities of life without parental guidance, often in solitary or group settings. During the Civil War in Sierra Leone, children suffered the most. Separated from their families and left to fend for themselves, they had to navigate the violence and chaos on their own. With no safe places to go and limited means of communication, many children had to search for food and safety, risking encounters with rebel bands. The author, caught in the midst of the war, had to join a group of other boys for survival. However, they soon discovered that even together, they were not immune to the devastating effects of war. Key idea number 3. Sierra Leonean boys faced a scarcity of secure havens as they were vulnerable to rebel factions and civilian assaults. During the war in Sierra Leone, young boys faced immense hardships as they were targeted by rebel groups and viewed as a threat by civilians. Rumors about rebel use of boy soldiers caused fear and suspicion among the local population. The rebels would brand boys with their initials, making them easy targets for violence. Even innocent boys were viewed with suspicion due to stories about boy soldiers. The author and his companions experienced this firsthand when they were captured and tortured by civilians. The villagers attacked them, leaving their feet severely burned and blistered. However, the cruelty of the Sierra Leone National Army was even worse. This article offers a glimpse into the life of a child soldier. Key idea number 4. During Sierra Leone's civil war, the National Army also coerced young boys into becoming combatants. Rebels and the National Army both forced child soldiers to fight. The author and his friends were captured by the army and taken to a military base. Initially, life was peaceful, but as rebels drew closer, The army demanded the boys to enlist. Despite the lieutenant's claim that they could leave if they didn't want to fight, the boys felt trapped. The lieutenant later proved his insincerity by showing the corpses of those who tried to leave. The boys were treated like grown soldiers, given weapons and training. In the author's first battle, he was disoriented at first, but quickly became determined to fight after seeing his friends being killed. Key idea number 5. Boy soldiers, fueled by drugs and exposed to army propaganda, were transformed into highly efficient killing machines. This article describes how young boys were transformed into soldiers through a combination of drug use and propaganda in Sierra Leone. The army administered drugs to alter the boys' reality and make them emotionless killing machines. Propaganda was also used to instill hatred and a desire for revenge against the rebels who were blamed for their suffering. After the war, these child soldiers faced the difficult task of recovering from their traumatic experiences. Key idea number 6. Surviving boy soldiers endured profound trauma from their experiences and actions during the war. Returning home from war does not necessarily mean that the war is over for veterans. This is especially true for child soldiers, who continue to carry the traumas of war with them even after the conflict has ended. In 1996, a group of 15 boys, including the author, were rescued by UNICEF workers and taken to a rehabilitation facility called Benin Home. However, their transition to a peaceful life was not easy. It took months for the drugs they had been given during their time as child soldiers to leave their systems, and they continued to exhibit signs of trauma. The boys would fight with each other, attack the staff, and refuse to follow orders. Despite being provided with basic amenities, the author still struggled with the haunting memories of the atrocities he had committed during the war. The mention of his former military rank triggered painful recollections of the heinous acts he had carried out. Key idea number 7. The author found solace in the compassion and support of caregivers and family, which played a crucial role in transforming their trauma into a source of growth and productivity. In the midst of darkness and despair, hope emerged for former boy soldiers who had once lived as monsters. Despite their initial abusive behavior towards the staff at Benin Home, they were met with unwavering kindness and understanding. The author found solace and healing through his friendship with Nurse Esther, who showed him compassion and support. His uncle Tommy also played a crucial role in his recovery, offering love and a safe haven. With the help of these individuals, the author was able to leave his past behind and use his experience to make a positive difference. He became a spokesperson for Benin Home and traveled to New York to speak about the struggles faced by children in Sierra Leone. Through his book and story, he was able to raise awareness and educate thousands of people about the hardships endured by the people of Sierra Leone. In conclusion, the civil war in Sierra Leone caused immense devastation, particularly impacting young boys who were forced into the National Army and rebel groups as child soldiers. These boys, as young as 7, endured unimaginable traumas that would require profound compassion and support to eventually overcome. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.